Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hope you are lovely and well on this not so nice day. So hopefully it will clear up a bit later. As you can see, Angela unfortunately is not able to join us at the moment. Dad's still not well, so she's trying to look after him. She says she might join us later. And the way to know if Angela is going to join us is because I will disappear because I am currently admin, and she will automatically reappear, and then I'll come back in as the co-host. Something fun for today, which I thought we would start with, because I'm going to go on and talk about it later in the session. Right. Okay, so that was Lamb Chop and the song that will never end, and there is a reason behind it. I promise. I will explain later. Let's go through some good mornings. Katie says good morning. Morning, Katie.
Nope.
Brigitte says good morning. Morning, Brigitte.
Oh.
Helen says hello, everyone. Hi, Helen. Judy says good morning. Morning, Judy.
Morning.
Katie says she is headbanging to metal in the background and it's going perfectly. Okay.
Very good.
Helen says no sound. Sorry, that seems to be my fault. And Brigitte says you disappeared promptly. I shall pop out and go in on my phone. Okay. I think that's my fault. Lesson learned. Let's not do that ever again. Apparently, I can't share video in Vimeo. So anyway, morning everyone. How was your day yesterday, Claire?
I was having a bit of a quiet one yesterday afternoon because, as I said, I've got if anybody was here yesterday, I'm moaning a little bit about sciatica. Unfortunately, I appear to have pinched a nerve somewhere, and it's giving me a little bit of grief. So actually, I had a quiet one yesterday afternoon. It was a rather enforced quiet one, but I suppose something had to make me do it. So yes, it was mostly at home, sewing bits of baby ball, which hopefully I will finish today. So because then I'll have something to show you next time. But yes, it was a bit of a quiet one yesterday afternoon. How about you?
So I spent the afternoon completely working. And making lots of phone calls to my fellow colleagues, just checking in on them. And then I got a phone call at about 3 o'clock from my boss to say that I was to finish as much as I could that day, and then I'm officially on furlough. Yay! So for those of you that don't know what furlough means, it means that I'm not allowed to do any work for the partnership as long as they are claiming my wages back from the government. So it means I am now footloose and fancy free for as long as they decide I need to be on furlough, which is a minimum of 3 weeks. So I should be with you every day for the full 2 hours, no interruption.
Oh, gone for a bit of a pause. Well, happy Easter. Have a nice Easter holiday.
Yes. That is the disadvantage because I should have been working Friday, Saturday, and Monday. So now I have 4 days at home with Gary. That's going to be fun.
Well, at least you've got enough space to hide from each other, and you've got like rooms and offices and.
Yes, and that's what I was just about to say. Is at least I can disappear up into my craft room, get some Lego done, get some more crafting done. Find projects at the back of the wardrobe to pull out and reignite.
Lovely.
So there we go.
Good. Well,
how is everybody else today? What have you been doing? Let us know. Send us pictures. Yeah. Linda Ellis has just joined us. Morning, Linda.
Hi.
Katie says, I'll try to keep joining on Saturdays if you're still running them. Can't do weekends after this week. Okay. I understand, Katie, you are a key worker. What you do is a vital part of the post office and Royal Mail, so it is fully understood. And yes, we will continue to do them on a Saturday.
Yeah. Well, it's the same for you and everybody else. Join us where you can. We're not keeping a register.
Exactly.
or a roll
Nope.
call, and sometimes
Nope.
even we aren't always here every day. So it's exactly the same as when we used to turn up at the pub. If you're there, you're there. If not,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. We'll catch you next time.
And that's the reason why we started this, was because we know you can't get to groups. You can just join us here. And there's the replays, so you can catch up on us in the evening. And we may go back to some evening sessions. Unfortunately, the last one we didn't prove very successful. So we've put a hold on those because we seem to get more people join during the day rather than in the evening. Katie says, love you guys. I miss the pub. Actually, Katie, I only managed to get to the pub once in the last 2.5 years. So I miss it too. But maybe we could have a virtual pub and we'll find a night that works and have a little drinky while we knit.
Oh, we'll get some in. Yeah, I think that sounds like a cracking idea. Yeah, I'd like that. I miss our Tuesday night stand-up lion at the moment. I know I wasn't always the greatest attender because sometimes I'd get home from work, think, oh, and then not necessarily want to go out again. But when I did drag my carcass down there, I had an absolute whale of a time. So it's those ones I'm kind of missing as well at the moment.
In fact, next Tuesday would have been Knit and Natter at the pub. Maybe we should do it then.
I think we should, shall we?
Yes, let's do that. Let's have the normal Black Lion Knit and Natter virtually with alcohol.
Brill.
Yes.
I think that is a smashing idea. Good. Right, Robert, I have sent you a couple of photos of them on Messenger to your account.
Yep.
Of my virus blanket actually washed and pegged out, which I did this morning.
Ooh. Let's have a quick look at that then.
And washing it has made it a bit bigger than I expected.
Oh, really?
There we go. Yeah, a little bit, because I got like interlocking tiles to pin it out to.
Yeah.
And you know, I threw it on there to make sure I had enough tiles. Oh yes, that's about right size. Put it in the machine on a very, very short cycle just to give it a wet and a spin, and it came out a bit bigger. So there we go.
Ooh. Oh, that looks really nice, Claire.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it looks.
What do you think the overall size is? Because I would say that's about a metre.
4 foot square, whatever that is in French inches.
1.2 metres.
Yeah. Because those tiles that are underneath it are 12-inch or 30 centimetres. One.
Oh, wow, that looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm really, really pleased with the way it's turned out, actually.
So, Marion says that looks lovely.
Thank you.
Helen says lovely. Katie says, I still have the hot tub base foam tiles we use for Nye as a baby mat to pin big stuff on. Yes, yeah. I've got 2 sets of those in the garage. I've never had a project big enough to pin on, but I think my shawl might be when I get it out in a bit. It's huge. It's bigger than the one that I did for Angela. Linda says, our local pub ex-landlady from the Knowles Arms, Melton Mowbray, has started a virtual pub. There's now 20,000 members worldwide. Wow.
Brilliant. How cool is that?
Wow, that sounds amazing. And Brigitte says, fabulous blanket, Claire.
Thank you.
So please do send through your work in progresses and your finished projects if you've had any. Send them through to me on Messenger. We've had a couple pinned to the Facebook page, which is Angela and Robert Web TV. And I will bring them up on screen later for us to have a look at.
I do have something else to show the crowd as well, but I shall do that later on.
Okay. So shall we get my silly nonsense out of the way? So the video that I showed at the beginning was Lamb Chop, and at the end of every episode of Lamb Chop, they used to sing The Song That Never Ends. And there's a
Oh,
reason why I played it, because I've rewritten the song. So for those of you who've been following me with my lovely, colourful shawl, will know that I have been trying to work out when I should stop the shawl. And as I sat here at 11 o'clock last night, trying to finish the shawl, the song popped into my head. And that's because I rewrote the words. So this is the yarn that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Somebody started knitting it, not knowing how long it was, and they're forever knitting it, forever just because. It is the yarn that never ends, because it goes on and on and on.
brilliant.
And I
my
still
God, yes,
can't
you're right.
even see the grey violet through it. So I think I've got about another 2 or 3 rows left on that.
Good Lord.
And honestly, I can't stretch it out on the needles anymore. It's just bloody huge. Look.
My word. Well, that's a surprise.
So
You.
I think at some point I am just going to have to stop because it's getting too big.
Well, another couple of rows. That won't take you long.
It's now taking about half an hour a row.
Happy reached.
So I'm supposed to go out and start the garden today, but I really want to get this finished. So I think this might win over the garden.
Yeah. Well, the garden's not going anywhere, and apparently we're due a really good Easter bank holiday.
Yeah, but then that means that Gary's going to help with the garden, and I want him to have a nice, relaxing weekend. But also, there's a big difference between when I do the garden and when he does the garden. When he does the garden, it has to be done meticulously in a specific order, and it takes hours. When I do the garden, just get the lawnmower out, straight over it, trim the edges, done.
Right. So Gary's approach takes the fun out of it, really.
Yeah. And we'll take a whole day.
Oh dear. Okay, no, that's fair. I hear you.
So I think I might have to go and start the garden today so I can finish it tomorrow and then he can have a nice weekend.
No, that's fair. Sitting in the garden. There you go.
Yes, that's a good idea, actually. Oh, yeah.
If you do the garden, you see, and then you can say to him, "Oh, look, I've done this for you, so you can sit out in the garden all weekend." Oh. Anyway, right. So some messages. Dawn says, "Hello, Dawn.
Morning, Dawn.
Hi, everyone. Just had a long walk up the fields. Now worn out and have one very tired dog. Excellent. Get the dog worn out." Judy loves the song. Brigitte says, "Brilliantly funny." Marion says, "Wow." Presumably that's over the size of your shawl. Jackie, morning all.
Morning,
Hi,
Jackie.
Oh, hang on. Brigitte says the best gardening is not gardening. I completely agree. That's why we have no garden at all.
I agree, but then the grass gets to a point where you have to cut it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it starts to look like a bit of a forest.
Yeah. If I had the kind of garden where that was the only gardening involved, I could probably live with that. But yes,
We used to. We only used to have grass and pots. And we've never been particularly great at keeping stuff in pots alive. And then somebody had this really silly idea that they wanted to put beds in. And so they put the beds in, and now they've got overgrowing weeds in amongst the bulbs and the dying plants. So it's all got to come out again.
No, I tell you what I would like, though, is I would like a yard. A bit of outdoor space, not actually necessarily a garden. Wouldn't mind the odd tub, but a yard, somewhere that you can actually sit outside, maybe put stuff outside, potentially have a barbecue, maybe a washing line, because we don't even have that. So a yard I would like. A garden I'm a load of rubbish with. So I'm delighted for those people that do like gardening. I'm not dissing it at all, but it's never been my thing, because it is a perpetual, never-ending job. And I'm not very good with keeping living things alive. I barely keep myself alive. Mork
Yeah.
has to find for himself. No kids, no pets, no house plants. That way I can't kill anything. But there you go.
Brigitte says, thankfully, we have no grass. Helen says, husband and I love gardening in our garden. Yeah, I think if you've got green fingers, absolutely do as much as you can in the garden.
Yeah.
I don't have green fingers, and that's why. Katie says, if you put down a thick layer of chippings on the beds, that will stop the weeds. It does to a certain point, Claire, because we did have about 2 inches deep of bark all through the beds, but that they've come through it now. Katie says, Claire, when this is over, just come up and sit in my garden instead.
Well, I'll give it a go. This is why we like pubs with beer gardens, you see. Covers all the bases.
Brigitte says, I'm with you there, Claire. Plants look at me and Scarpa.
Yeah. Yeah, they pick up their skirts and run for it. It's like triffids. They go.
Marion says, I have green fingers, that's why I have so many weeds.
Well, theory is weeds are just plants that are growing in the wrong place.
Yes. And now I've got a picture of Bill and Ben in my head.
Very good. Right.
Jackie says, we have garden, but both hubby and I are useless at garden, cannot tell the difference between a plant and a weed. Yes.
Yes.
And then Marion has echoed my sentiments about Bill and Ben and written, weed. Weed.
But yes, if I had a garden, it'd be something else I'd have to pay somebody else to deal with. And I've got enough of that. So, yes, when we bought this place 10 years ago, we got a carport, which is currently the minis under it. But basically, our stipulation was not necessarily a garden, but somewhere to put 2 large Kawasaki's, which is what we had at the time. And so, yes, we found a place. So we had the carport instead. So
Helen says she sent me pictures of her garden. I'm going to do a few more stitches if that's okay, Helen, and then I'll come and come back to pictures because everybody.
Well
I've had some pictures from other people as well, so we'll do that in a little bit if that's okay.
Real. Oh. Oh. So, one thing that turned up in the post yesterday, which was quite good, is my new glasses.
Oh, yes, I saw a comment on Facebook.
Yes. Now, if you can see, these ones are a bit darker than the ones that I was wearing a while ago.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd pair of these frames that I've had. So it's not very often I find a pair of frames that I really like. I absolutely love cat's eye glasses. They're all a bit bonkers. They suit me. They used to be just my going out glasses until I ended up just wearing them all the time. But unfortunately, they got a crack round the frame and just broke. So I had to order some new ones. Now, thankfully, I'm still in single vision glasses, but that won't last much longer. I shall have to relent to varifocals soon. But while I am still in single vision glasses, it means that I can actually get them online and get my weird bonkers frames online. So I did, and they took a couple of weeks to turn up, which was fine. But it's not like I'm sure. I've got a drawer full of cheap glasses. So, but I'm glad these ones have turned up because you can actually see them a bit more now, unlike my pink frames. So that was quite good. And I got some in a different shape for when I'm doing vintage events and things, because these aren't very 1940s.
Oh.
So and yeah, oddly enough, they quite suit as well. So I was very pleased. I had good posts yesterday.
I tell you what you can do, Claire, when you get to the point of needing varifocals, you can take old frames into opticians, and whilst they can't guarantee what they will be able to do is measure the lenses to fit the frames.
Yeah.
And whilst they say they take the frames at their own risk, they can actually do it if they can get the lens to fit. So you might not need to go back to plain boring frames.
We'll see. I hope so. But to be
ones that you've got and get them reused.
Yeah. Well,
it's a lot cheaper as well.
Yes, it's also a bit of a personal age threshold for me as well. So I'm kind of putting off that point for as long as I can get away with.
And you know what? I did exactly the same thing. 3 years ago, I was told I was borderline varifocals. 2 years ago, I was told maybe start considering it. And then this year when I went, I was told I needed to have them and ordered them, and then got a phone call Saturday before lockdown to say, I'm really sorry, the opticians is closing. I don't know when you can have your glasses.
What? Oh.
Yeah, so they were on order and they were ringing me to say, I'm really sorry, we're closing, so we don't know when you're going to be able to have them.
Oh, that's cobblers.
Yeah, never mind. I mean, to be fair, I had ordered a very bespoke frame, and they were going to take time because I don't like frames. So what I do with mine is I have very lightweight arms, no frame around them, and a very thin bridge.
Yes.
So this time what I'd ordered was some slightly thicker arms that were being bespoke made in a colour for me. And that's what was taking the time.
Oh, fair enough. But I mean, I do occasionally buy frames from an optician as well, because, there is a lot of markup on glasses frames, a huge amount of markup on glasses frames. But quite often, that is the part of the business that keeps the opticians being able to still dispense.
Yeah.
It pays for all the equipment. So in order to keep an opticians down the road, I will buy the occasional pair of frames from an actual opticians, but we'll see. Anyway, a few messages. Safia, morning, Safi. Hi, how are you?
Safia.
Says morning all. Hope Angela and her dad are okay. I believe so. They're just recovering.
Her dad's not much better, and they did actually have to call an ambulance yesterday. And the ambulance was going to take him to hospital, but he refused. So they've not had a particularly good night, which is again why Angela sadly is not here. But I will be speaking to her later, and I shall share your love as always.
Super. Marion says, hi, Safia. Georgie says, morning. Love your glasses, Claire. Thank you. Morning. Hi, Georgie. How are you?
Morning, Georgie.
Yes. And Helen, it's usually the depth. These look fine. Yeah. I don't have the thickest lenses in the world, but yeah, they are a little bit of a chunk. So yeah, it should be all right. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I just find a lot of the standard lenses in places, standard frames in places like Specsavers are awfully vanilla. Yeah. And there's not a lot of personality to them.
No.
So,
and I think that's why when I found the ones that I did, and I wasn't really looking, I knew I needed an eye test, and I thought, I'll just go and have a look at this in this optician's that's just opened. And just stumbled across this pair, and I said, they would look really nice in a different color, in which point they came out to me and they showed me all the different colors that you could have in the frames and the bridge. So and then I thought, actually, do you know what, I really like them, I'm having them. So I had the eye test there and then.
Jolly good. Yes. No, I will do that at some point. But the thing is because I sew, my near sight has been going for years.
Yeah.
But it only in a way that I would notice that most ordinary people probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there we have it, really.
Oh, I've just noticed you've got a different quilt in the background.
That's the other side of the blue one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I turned it over.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of a double-sided scrappy one.
It reminds me of the album cover of Pink Floyd, The Other Side of the Wall.
Yeah, no, it would be. It
the
would
rainbow
be
on
not
it?
Another Brick in the Wall, because that's the one that had hammers on. It would. Oh, Dark Side of the Moon. There you go. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Katie. Even I had a minor brainstorm then, and it's one of my favourite bands.
I'm
but
glad
yes,
somebody else knew what I was talking about.
No, I know. It's the one where it's light going through prisms. But yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, that is Dark Side of the Moon. Another Brick in the Wall has got the hammers on the front, I think. But anyway, listened to it yesterday. Well done, Katie.
That would be why.
Yeah, I must dig those out. But the problem is Floyd can make me maudlin, so I tend to save that.
Linda just joined. Morning, Linda. I think that's
hi, Linda.
Linda Ellis was already here. Yes, it is Linda Phillips. And let's see if somebody else has snuck into the room while we've been talking. Sally is here. Morning, Sally.
Hiya.
Hope you're okay. Sally says she sneaks in. So, all you local people, now that I am on furlough, I am allowed to go out and do some work in the community. So what I thought I would do is every day in this chat is find out if there's anything that people need, and then find some time during the day to be able to go and do it for you. As a forewarning though, if you need me to go and do a food shop for you, I probably won't do that on the day. It will be the following morning. Just because I think it's easier to go to a supermarket first thing in the morning because you're more likely to get what you want rather than during the day. And a second thing that I wanted to mention is for those of you who have volunteers who are shopping for you and are struggling with bank accounts and transferring money to pay them, yesterday Waitrose launched a volunteering gift card. So you buy the gift card and you put the volunteer's email address in and it goes to them. So they've got an e-gift card that they can then buy your shopping with, which I thought was a really good idea. Yeah. Sally says she's fine. I've had my sewing hat on the past few days. Sally, please do send some pictures. We haven't shared anything yet or anything much yet in the group this morning. So do send them through and I will add them to the list of what's going on in the background. My phone is frantically buzzing away, so I'm hoping we've got quite a few to be able to share.
Hooray! Jolly good. Well, for any of you who's not in sunny Bedfordshire, what's the weather like there? Here, it can't seem to make up its mind between overcast and brightish. It's brightened up a little bit, but can't seem to work it out at the moment.
Sally says they're secret until after tonight. She'll show them tomorrow. That's fine.
Lovely.
Marion says that she likes the picture that's behind me. So that picture. Hi, Angela.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How have you managed to get into the room? I'm admin. I've logged in as you.
I've logged in as you.
That'd be why.
I went in and got all the registration links and thought, I can log in as Robert.
I did say to everybody at the beginning that if
I'll leave it to you now.
I did say to everybody at the beginning that if I disappear, it's because you're logging in. So...
No.
How are you?
Hello, everybody. Oh,
You can tell you're back. The room has just exploded.
hello. Oh dear. Sorry, I was all ready to come on, but then my dad wanted to move. So never mind. Yeah, so all sorted now. He's back in bed. Fab.
Right, Marianne, sorry, I'm just going to come back and answer your question. So that picture that you can see in the background is called Sunset, and it's by a lady called Wendy Corbett, and it was the first big investment in a picture that Gary and I ever made in our first home together.
Oh, lovely.
Right, let's just go through. We were talking about shopping. Helen says she can do shopping on Mondays or Wednesdays if people need it. Linda says it's clear skies in Lincolnshire. Katie says it's glorious in Sheffield, feeling a bit guilty for not being out in it. And then she says, hi, Angela, huge hug, sweetie. Marion says, hi,
Huge
Angela.
hugs.
Linda says, hi,
Hello.
Angela, glad to see you. Brigitte says, hi,
Hello.
Angela, good to see you. Georgie says, hi, Angela. Helen says, hello, Angela, my lovey. Dawn says, hi, Angela. Safia says, hi, Angela. Linda says, good to see you, Angela. And then Marion says, very nice. Sally says, great choice. There we go. Right. So you've missed some complete nuttiness this morning.
Oh,
I made a song up last night. Morning, Tracy.
did you sing?
I did. I did. So I started by playing a video of Lamb Chop, and at the end of every Lamb Chop episode, they would sing the song that never ends. So I made up a song at 11 o'clock last night because, despite me thinking this was nearly done, this yarn is not going away. so I made a song up about the yarn that never ends. So watch it on replay.
Oh, there is another song, and I refuse to sing. It's called Whilst It's Never Ending Story, but it could be Never Ending Yarny or something like that. But I do not sing, even after a tipple.
Fair enough.
Oh dear.
So how is your shawl going, Angela? You must be nearly done now.
I really haven't done much. I sat down yesterday, put Four in a bed on, fell asleep, woke up, put Dragon's Den on, fell asleep, woke up. So I think I've only done about 2 rows. So hopefully I'll do a little bit more today.
What's Four in a Bed?
It's on Channel 4, and it's about B&B owners.
Oh, okay.
So-
It sounds a lot ruder than that.
Well, it gets people to watch.
For everybody watching, Four in a Bed is a Channel 4 UK production where 4 B&B owners compete to see who has the best value B&B. And they all compete. So that's it.
Okay.
Just because
Good.
just sat there doing a bit of knitting, watching.
It's sort of the
dear.
equivalent of Come Dine With Me, but about
And I
the
won't
whole
even
Ben
go on.
breakfast business.
Oh, we lost
Yeah.
Angela.
Yeah.
Oops.
We lost you, Angela. So we didn't
Refresh.
hear that last bit. No, she's gone. Okay, and Brigitte's telling me to behave myself. Ha 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 ha.
Why start now?
Well, exactly. You know, nearly 42 years old. It's not going to stop. Jackie says it's sunny and lovely in Kent. And hi, Angela. Lovely to see you.
Am I
I've
back?
been
back.
Kent. Awfully confused.
Sorry, Claire. What are you confused about?
I didn't know Jackie was in Kent. I was awfully confused there for a minute.
Ah,
Oh.
yes. Jackie lives near Maidstone in Kent, so fairly centralish.
How nice.
Sorry,
I
Angela,
do-
what was you saying before you dropped off?
I was about to say, but just to let you know, I now feel as if I'm an IT guru because I know about the with the old-fashioned PCs. It does solve everything. So no, I was going to say, after your comment about Four in a Bed, I won't even comment about another program that I watch, although I'm going to, which is called Sister Wives, and it's about a polygamist with 4 wives. I mean, it is just, I am fascinated about how other people live.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's
So, Robert,
Mormons, isn't it?
It is. It's a particular variety of Mormons.
Yeah, the fundamentally, yes. So that's rather interesting to see how different dynamics work and how it compares to how we perceive them. So anyway, that's fascinating watching on a Sunday night. But as I'm up here with Skype, with no replay, no internet connection, if you know what I mean, I've missed last Sunday's program, so I'm gonna have to try and find it somewhere on YouTube because there's no replay, no repeat, and I can't download it on catch up with no internet, so never mind. I love those programs that you can just watch, not think about, and knit to. Yeah. Oh.
Jolly good. Right.
So what have I missed? I haven't been around for a day and a half.
I have finished that virus blanket, and it's now being blocked. I shall ask Robert to put up the photos again when he's got a minute, so that you can see them.
Oh wow!
What else?
Angela, do you know what episode you were on?
14. Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether it's series 14. I'll have to double check.
Okay.
But it's whilst they've moved to Flagstaff before the fire.
We'll have a chat later, and I'll I think I found it for you, but
oh, fabulous!
We'll
but at the moment, right on YouTube, and I know this is nothing to do with yarn, but hey, it's telling a yarn. The whole thing about on the internet is he has 4 wives. The coronavirus is happening. Which wife is he with for the whole of the lockdown?
Oh,
exactly. And we all think
so they don't all live in the same house.
No, they used to live in Las Vegas. And
what they tend
houses in it.
Right.
Huh?
Missed you a bit.
Before that, there were only 3 wives, and they all lived in one house.
What they tend to do, Claire,
and now they've moved to Flagstaff.
Right. Okay.
So it's like, what are they going to do? He wanted to build one huge house. The wives are having none of it, so they're having 4 houses. So anyway, who is he with? Who knows? Cody Brown.
Watch this space.
Yeah. Anyway, this is more interesting.
Though,
this is all I've got left of my cake.
Oh,
you are. What,
I said, oh, well done.
Yeah. So I've got that. Robert was going to ask a question. He said, presumably.
No, I was going to carry on talking about Sister Wives, but never mind. Let's get back to woolly stuff, shall we? Brigitte says that's why I don't watch.
I know.
Can't work the needles and read. I'm okay with German films. Of course you are.
I should hope so.
And Georgie says, gorgeous colours, Angela. Brigitte says, I can either see Angela or hear her, but not together. No, I think Angela's having a few 4G signal issues this morning. She does keep breaking up and coming back and breaking up and coming back. So we'll let her know when she disappears. And she's gone.
Yeah, logging back in again, I presume. Right. I'm on my last segment of Baby Ball now.
Oh.
And then I can turn them and stuff them.
Angela?
Yeah?
I know this is going to sound a bit geeky, but do you think you're getting a weaker signal because you're not logged in as admin?
No, I think I'm on a weaker signal because I have no idea where I put my mobile phone, and I'm on BT Phone. So I paid for days, and it's crap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're lacking in bandwidth by the sounds of things.
Let me see if I can find my phone.
I'm just ringing it now for you, if that will help.
You do realise I've got 4 floors to look through.
Well, I can hear it from here.
That'll count as your exercise for the day.
Honestly, Robert, I cannot believe it. I have done such an intensive workout. I'll go find my phone.
Right. Georgie asks what I'm making. Well, I'm making a baby ball. Let me demonstrate a bit. Basically, it's made up of sort of 12 segments, which you pad out, and then you sew the segments together, and they make a big ball thing that you can grab onto. They're rather quite lovely. So hopefully I'll finish that either today or tomorrow.
Okay. Angela has found her phone. She'll be back in a minute.
Sally once rang her phone and a lady in Morrison's answered. I've done that before. Yeah, mine was in a little shed. Dawn said, Lizzie and I had a lovely afternoon yesterday crafting while watching part 1 of Lord of the Rings. Dawn crocheted and Lizzie is making a box theatre. We'll send photos. Absolutely, please do. Janet says there's nothing worse than not having bandwidth. You're absolutely right.
Morning, Janet. I did see you sneak in and you said that you were weaving today. So, hello.
Hi. Yeah, I'm on cable, and even I don't have as much bandwidth as I usually do. Brigitte says I can hear her phone, or maybe a phone. Yes, it was. Georgie, sounds lovely, Claire. Yeah, lovely. They are a fabulous thing. They just take a little while to make. Deborah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Deborah.
Morning, Deborah. So yesterday afternoon, Gary and I went for another walk, and I wouldn't go for a 5-mile walk again, so he said let's go for 2 miles. So I decided that I was going to head towards Astral Park. But on the way, I discovered the Sandhills Lake, which is beautiful, and it's a mile walk around the whole of the lake, and it's lovely. If you've never been, I would really recommend it. It was just the sound of the water was just so peaceful, and everybody was just so nice and keeping distancing, and yeah, it was lovely.
I didn't know there was one there. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, when I lived in Birmingham, I was up the road from Edgbaston Reservoir, which was, considering I was 2 miles from the city centre, it was actually really quite a nice space to be. So, yes, I'm quite jealous. That's nice. I'm glad you got that round there. When this is all over, I shall come and investigate.
It's behind Greenlee's school. There's a pathway just beside Greenlee's, and if you follow that behind the house, behind the houses, you then walk it. You walk straight up to the lake.
Okay. I only know your neck of the woods really to get to Greenfields or out of town or whatever. So I don't know it to walk around terribly well. So must remedy that really.
So the traffic lights where Greenfields is.
Yes.
If you do if you're coming from town and you do a left,
Yes.
you just go to the bottom of the estate and you'll bottom of the road, sorry, Kestrel Way, and you'll see Greenleys on the right hand side.
Oh, right.
Park up somewhere around there and just follow the path behind Greenleys and that'll take you to the lake.
We looked at a house round there.
Oh.
Yes, some years ago. So there we go. Right, Tracy says, I'm doing a rainbow hug and bunting to yarn bomb the trees. Oh, and bunting to yarn bomb the trees on our little green outside the houses, cheer everyone up. Lovely, that's a beautiful
That's a lovely idea.
Going to do it late evening when nobody will see, so it will be a surprise.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
a lovely idea. I have some very beautiful rainbow fabric that I've been wanting to know what to do with. So I might make some bunting and hang it up on my fence. That's lovely. Thank you.
Yeah. Helen says, Tracy, that's a wonderful thing to do. Tracy says, we have a row of bungalows opposite that are all older residents, so hoping it will cheer them up. And I'm absolutely sure it will.
Yes.
Good. Ooh. But no, I also reckon on a techie point, what's killing a lot of bandwidth is a lot of people are probably downloading or Netflixing during the day and the evening where they probably wouldn't have done normally. And of course, if a lot of people are working at home and they are all using video conferencing and the like, that's probably why I haven't got as many bars as I usually do. So I think I think the network might be hitting a little more capacity than it usually does.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like this weekend?
It depends what the weather's going to be like, I suppose.
So, dilemma time.
Well,
I'm not sure if you can see, but I can just see the grey purple in there.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if I have enough to do another another row and then cast off, or whether I should just cast off on this next row and be done.
That's not that, because that's fairly well, not chunky, but it's sort of a fairly substantial yarn, isn't it?
It's double knit.
Oh, is it? All right. Must be the angle. I don't know. Pull it out and see how much you got. But yeah, it's looking back cast off time, right? I suppose.
Safia says looks like time to cast off. Tracy says play safe and cast off. Helen says most of her work calls are conferencing. Sally says unwind to see the I don't understand that bit, Sally. Janet says measure it against your row. I can't, Janet, because the thing is actually bigger than the circulars that I'm knitting on. Linda says cast off now, don't play yarn chicken. Brigitte says I think use the grey for the cast off would be fine. I think I'm going to ponder for a bit. Let's
Fair enough.
Katie says she's got a call coming in, some mustache. Bye, Katie.
See ya.
Hopefully see you tomorrow. Right, I am going to log on to Messenger and the web TV page and start showing some work in progresses.
Jolly good.
Oh, Angela doesn't think she's coming back.
Oh, right, fair enough. Yeah, Georgie says Gorgeous colour. Yes, definitely cast off as you don't like the grey. Yeah, you've definitely not been impressed with that. So
No, I've said it from the beginning. I didn't
You
like
have.
the grey. Right, so here we go. Some pictures. So this is Lizzie's box theatre.
Oh, how fabulous!
Working on. Oh wow! Look at that. That's tiny.
Oh, looks like the sort of thing my husband works on. But yes, how cute is that?
Yeah. Right. On bottom, Robert. Right. We have. What on earth? Okay, sorry, folks. I kind of don't know why that's happening. Let's try again. It's because I was trying to cheat the system and go from one thing to another without closing it properly. Right. This is Linda Phillips's lovely finished superhero blanket that she was doing.
Very good.
There we go.
Hey,
Quilted and pressed and embroidered.
how brilliant! Look at all those crosses.
Mm,
Doesn't it line up ever so well as well?
it does. You've got to have a lot of patience
How
to do
clever
that.
are you? Yeah. No, that's a great job. Well done.
I don't think I could ever be that patient. Right, let's see what else we've got. Helen sent some pictures. So we were talking about gardens earlier on, and this is
Yep.
Helen's garden.
Ah, strawberries.
Nice tiered planter there. It does look like strawberries, doesn't it? I wonder if that's like a herb pot or something.
Yeah. Ah, fun.
I'm guessing they're on the side of a shed or a fence.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that fuchsia.
Wow.
Is that fuchsia or is that begonia?
It's not a fuchsia, but I'm not quite sure what it is. But it's beautiful nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Puddy.
Begonia.
There's Puddita.
Very good.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love that. That's very zen-like, isn't it?
Mm,
Love the orange. And the tiles at the bottom there. Look at those.
yeah. Beautiful job.
Okay, let me just see. I know I had some more pictures somewhere. So let's just see if I can find them. We'll get the hang of this one day, and it'll all go nice and smoothly, and then the lockdown will be over and we'll stop doing them. Okay, now it seems like I'm having bandwidth problems. Gary's coming. Shh.
You all right?
Yes, dear, you?
I'm fine. Are you on your
Yes.
your knitting chat? Was it not working?
Hello.
Oh, hello. Yes, well done, Robert. You moved the camera around and you showed me to the world.
No, I'm really sorry, guys. I can't get the web TV page to work on here, so I'll go back to the old-fashioned way and use my phone.
You're chatting with know what you've done to this bottle of brandy.
Yep.
It's now empty.
Oh, no, they don't. No, sorry.
Yes, that was full yesterday.
It was not.
It was.
Honestly, it was not.
Well, it's all right. No wine is safe in this house, unfortunately.
He accused me of being an alcoholic this morning because I polished off that bottle of cherry brandy yesterday, and the day before I polished off a bottle of Disaronno.
Right.
Said I'm going to come out of lockdown and need to go into AA.
Really?
Ah, right. Getting somewhere. Right, so Judy sent these a few days ago, and I'm really sorry. Oh, come on. This is a cowl that she's made with her own hand-dyed wool.
Oh, wow.
And she calls it a Russian wedding ring cowl.
Yes. That's clever. I've not seen one of those before.
And then that's a pair of socks that she's done as well.
Brilliant. Okay, some of the messages. Lots of, hi Gary, lovely to meet you. A little bit of sniggering about your alcohol habit. You're looking good on it, Robert. Georgie says, love both those drinks, very Moorish.
Especially Disaronno.
Yeah. Not one I don't think I've had. That's the coffee one, isn't it?
No, it's amaretto.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Lots of admiring comments for Judy's work. So lovely cowl, Judy. Well, I actually think so too. I think that's a really quite an interesting idea. So Linda says, love the Russian wedding ring idea. Brigitte says the cowl looks amazing. I agree. And you must try Frangelico, Robert, which I assume is a similar spirit. So Trisha's arrived.
Morning, Trisha.
Morning, Trisha. Trisha says, morning, bit of a garden emergency, bird trapped in the greenhouse.
Oh, I hope it's okay.
Janet says, can we see the cowl again, please?
Okay, I will do my best.
Judy says, Russian wedding ring cowl is on Ravelry. It's easy and uses up stash quickly. Excellent. I will have a look at that.
Is it knitted or crocheted, Judy? It looked knitted. Aha. Got it. Right.
Hey.
Here we go.
Well done, that man.
There we go. Yes, it looks knitted.
Yep.
I think it's just garter stitch.
Knitted hand spun, but you can use anything. Good thing too, really.
Does look gorgeous. I love the contrasting lilacs and pinks.
Yes.
And sorry, did you say it was on Ravelry?
Yep.
Let's have a quick look.
Ugh.
Quick search. Ah, it's a free pattern.
Oh, jolly good. Even better.
Let me just share the window.
Oh,
There we go.
I like that. That's interesting.
So we were talking yesterday about what to do with sock yarn, weren't we?
Yeah,
That looks like it would be a lovely thing to do with some sock yarn.
I think it would.
Oh, now that's interesting. Because that's
Yeah.
like it's lots of different, about 5 different rings in that one, doesn't it?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Of varying thicknesses.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's one of those things that once you get the hang of it, or you get the idea that you can make your own variations.
Yeah. That looks like it's chunky.
Yeah.
I really like that. I think I'm gonna have to print that off later.
I shall look that one up.
Right, let's see. So it says to use worsted or 10 ply, and it says you need between 90 to 220 yards.
Okay.
Thanks for that, Judy. Definitely
Jolly good tip off there.
definitely worth looking at. Judy says it's knitted hand spun, but you can use anything. Sally says truly a work of art. Deborah says the cow looks lovely. We'll look it up. Judy says it's stocking stitch, which is why it rolls up. Okay, that makes sense because garting lays flat, doesn't it, and stocking curls. Brigitte wasn't so keen on the multi-ring cow, but as Kaya said, I'm sure once you've done one, you could then just adapt it however. And Helen says she thinks it looks better with fewer as well. So Judy's only had 3 rings in it. So that seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, but you never know until you try. So
Evelyn has joined the room. Morning, Evelyn.
hiya.
Let us know what you're up to today, because I know you tend to listen in the background when you're up to stuff. Right. What to do? I think I'm going to go for another row and then cast off.
Ooh.
What's the worst that can happen? We call this
Well, exactly.
Gogglefrogs for a reason.
It's only a bit of yarn. Right, so I shall show you this. Now, ages ago, I bought, it's quite a long coat. You can just, tell you what, I'll stand up for this bit. Ow, 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 ow. Right, so, still see me. Hello. Right, some time ago, I bought a fairly long but jersey jacket. So it's about that long. But I decided it was too plain. So one of my ongoing projects that's been sitting there doing absolutely nothing until I did something with it was to tart this lovely plain jacket up a bit. Oh, let's go that way. So if you remember right at the back at the very beginning of when we started doing this, I sent you pictures of some blue patchwork. Well, that's where it's ended up.
Oh, very nice.
So I've got patchwork on the front of the jacket. I've got rows of hexagons down at the hem, and some lace going over some of the seams, and it now has frilly cuffs and a big star on the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my husband to put it on and take a few photos so you can kind of see it properly. But basically, I have pimped a jacket. So it was just an ordinary jersey throw-on long jacket thing. So I decided to tart it up. So I finally finished that yesterday, I think, because some of it needed machining down. So I finally sorted that out. But I shall take some proper photos, hopefully later today. But that'll involve somebody else wearing it, so I'm going to have to wait till my husband comes home. So there you go. So that's the other thing that I've been up to, and I'm actually really quite pleased with it.
I'm glad you're not the only one that uses your husband to model things. Because when I was doing Angela's version of this shawl, I used Gary as my model to know whether it was big enough or not.
Well, absolutely. Well, the things hang quite well off him. And actually, it's easier for me to take photos of him with it on, because then I know what I'm taking photos of and the detail, the bits that I want it to see. So, yes, he does get to do that. Nearly every photo of quilts that are being held up like that has him stood behind them because he's tall enough to hold a quilt. So, yes.
And you're getting lots of comments.
Lots of lovely comments. Thank you very much, everybody. As I said, I'll take some photos. Love the jacket upgrade. Yes. But as I said, it's been hanging there for months, just waiting for me to do something with it. But of course, everything else is always much more important or more pressing. And Janet says, wow, a great idea for a tunic that has developed a hole. I love the tunic. Yeah, do it. Patchwork. That's what patchwork originally was. Yeah, go for it. Bit of inventive mending. I think it's a lovely idea. Okay.
Dawn has sent a message saying that the Japanese blanket that we showed yesterday is not going to be a blanket, but hasn't elaborated on why. So do let us know what's gone wrong and what you're now going to do with it, Dawn. Janet says trouble is she doesn't sew.
Bondaweb, glue.
And there's lots of things out there. I've got a couple upstairs where you can if you can cross stitch or you can follow a pattern, you sew the pattern, you tack the fabric on, sew through the fabric and what you're attaching it to, and then pull out the I want to call it webbing, but it's not webbing. Pull out what the fabric,
Yeah.
and then it just sits on the garment itself.
Oh, right. Yes.
Deborah says, love the jacket upcycle, Claire. Sally says,
Thank
fibre
you.
threads. I'm not sure what that is. And then Linda says it's called stitch and tear, Robert. Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you can get various things either as either paper or as a kind of a non-woven textile where you can draw on it, sew over the top of it, and it'll tear off underneath.
Yeah.
But you can do that with paper. But no, I mean, there is no one great rule book that says you have to sew two pieces of fabric together. There are many and varied ways of doing it. Just because I can sew, it doesn't mean to say I don't take up trousers with bonder web still. Things like that. You know, everything. There are lots of media and mediums out there that can be used.
Yeah.
Why not get creative?
Brigitte says, just weighed the remainder of my yarn for the granny squares. She's got 45 grams left and 5 squares left to do. Each square weighs 9 grams, so in theory I should win yarn chicken. Well, fingers crossed. I hope you do. Do let us know how you get on. Deborah says she's just been looking at some more Russian wedding ring cows and found some more beautiful examples. Linda says you can also buy soluble fabric to use in the same way. That's what was escaping me, soluble fabric.
Yes, I have used that.
Oh, Dawn says nothing wrong with the Japanese thingy, just decided I would like a large cushion for my knitting, reading, armchair and study. Got quite a few blankets in the house already. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Jolly good. Oh, this is getting tedious.
Will you finish it today?
Probably. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I have several projects on the go at any one point.
Yeah.
And also, if I'm sewing and I'm using little needles, because I'm a bit of a quilter at heart, they tend to make a mess of my fingers. So I know in theory I should use thimbles and stuff, but I like to be able to feel. But it's also one of the pieces of fabric I'm using is upholstery weight, so it's getting a little difficult to push a needle through it sometimes. But I'm nearly done. And then I'll sit here and turn the rest of them inside out. Oh.
Sound of concentration.
Yeah, one more bit of thread and then I'm done.
Oh, Sally says you can get teeny sticky pads for fingertips instead of using a thimble.
Yep. Yeah, they don't last me very long. So what I'll quite often do is I'll put a piece of plaster over the top of one. But yes, they are quite good. If I am hand quilting, they are my weapon of choice. Particularly the suede ones. But they do lose their stick after a while, so I tend to have to plaster over the top of them. But yeah, but good point raised. They are very good. Janet has sent a photo of her weaving.
Okay. Give me a couple of minutes and I will have a look.
Very good. Right. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. I'll be there in a sec. Right. Let's cast that off. Right. Oh, that'll do. Right. So hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fabulous. Right. Component parts made. Let's turn them inside out. So a lot of them, a lot of them are still inside out from where I sewed it up. And I'm going to make them, oh, there we go, the right way around.
Janet, I can't find your pictures. I'm afraid. So I'm not quite sure how or where you sent them.
Ooh.
We were talking the other day about the blankets for the kittens at the RSPCA in North London.
Yes.
And I just want to tell everybody that you did reach out to them and there was a bit of confusion. And they've said as long as it's washable, that's fine. Did they say what temperature it needed to be washable at?
No, just washable and dryable.
Okay. And then you posted the pattern on Andrew and Robert Web TV, didn't you?
Yeah, they emailed me back with, basically I cut and pasted the content of the email and they gave me several links to assorted patterns. But, you know, the upshot is if anybody can knock up a blanket of A4 size or bigger, if anybody wants to do anything like even little cat toys or cat beds or pet beds, then they'd be absolutely delighted. But I've seen this happen before. Chances are the person who's writing the article for countryliving.com website isn't a crafter and therefore assumes that anything that comes in a ball that we might knit with is all called wool, not realizing that we use the word wool for something specific. So so I did get in touch with them and go, did it have to be wool or can it be? And they were like, no, it's anything as long as it's washable and dryable. So yeah, they were absolutely delighted to hear from me. Sent me some links of ideas for cat toys and things. And there we go. So I've posted that to Angela and Robert Webb TV and the knitting Bedfordshire Knitting and Crochet page.
Right. Okay.
So as I'm not short of spare yarn, I might be running something up. So we'll see.
Janet, I'm really sorry. I still can't find the pictures. I've been through every single app that I have that receives messages, so I'm really sorry. Maybe just email them to me, and I will show them tomorrow. Sally says, "Have seen these at sewing exhibition. I wouldn't have the patience." Well done, Claire. I'm guessing that's your ball.
Yeah, potentially.
And Marion says, "I would like to try."
Sally was referring to.
And Marion says, "I would like to try and make one."
Easy peasy.
Is it a pattern you made, Claire, or did you find it somewhere?
Well, it's sort of the sewing equivalent of an old family recipe.
Right. Okay.
It's something my mother used to make, so I nicked the idea off her. The pattern is very easily drawn up. You just need a circle. I do have, I think I did this as a workshop up at Dunstable Downs. So I do have the pattern written out somewhere. I'm just going to have to work out which computer it's on. So I will have a look for it later.
I'm sure
I've got it.
I'd love to have it.
Yeah, I've got it all somewhere. There are assorted versions on the net as well. So this is, you know, quite an old traditional thing. So, so yeah, there are versions of it out there. It's just a bit difficult to describe without having one in front of me to show you, but hopefully I'll do that tomorrow.
Sally's saying, for the mini version of the ball, could this be bunting?
I think it'd be far too fiddly for that. You could, but mini versions of the ball means you're making 12 mini versions of that. Because it's a segmented... Let me find one. Right.
Sally says, "Okay, point taken."
Yeah.
Dawn says she still has the measuring. Go on. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, the smaller you get, the fiddlier it is.
Dawn says she still has the measuring tape rosette that we made up at Dunstable Downs.
Oh.
And Linda says, "I agree,
That was a lot
Claire,
of fun.
way too fiddly."
Yeah. Okay. Right, let's do this thing. Right, share your screen. Oh. Something's gone a bit strange. Hang on a sec. Oh, there we go. Oh, didn't work. Right, let's try that again. Even I'm showing poor network. Dum-de-dum-de-dum.
Oh, it's doing something. Oh, there we go.
There we go. So it's basically one of those. This one will be about that big. That's big as my head. Probably bigger. The ball, not my head.
And which one is it that you're doing? This one here on the big screen, the bigger screen.
Hang on. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Right. Let's click into that.
Marion says she loves all of those. And Sally says not quite the shape she was thinking of, but agrees not good in miniature.
No.
So is it the one that says the peacock and the tortoise that you're doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully. Oh, let's get rid of that. So I've got a book of assorted other puzzle balls.
Yeah.
But I particularly like making these ones. So yeah. Have a good Google.
Linda's just sent a picture of some of the ones that she's done, so let me just show those. There we go.
Ah, yep. Them's the ones. What I have done in the past is made them so each internal angle is a different colour. But that gives you a particularly sort of headache working that one out.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how when you look at things, it reminds you of specific things? So this one over in the back left reminds me of Ludo
Ah,
because of the 4 different colours.
yes.
And this one here in the back right reminds me of the Hungry Caterpillar.
It would, because that print is taken from the graphics in the book.
Oh, is it? That's why.
Yes, that is the Very Hungry Caterpillar range of fabric.
Ah. And then this front one, the fabric in here is what springs to mind is every time I've seen an artist on their palette with lots of oil.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah, Sally says the front one's Smarties.
Ah, yes. I can see that now.
I look at Go Midget Gems. Trisha says there is even an elephant puzzle ball. Oh, hello. Let's have a look at that one.
Oh, Eleanor, yes. There we go, Claire. I've stopped sharing now.
That's all right. Oh, it's a knitted. Oh, it's a crocheted version. Good Lord.
Can you share
That is clever.
Can you try and share that? Or
Oh,
shall
can
I?
do. I'll have a go. You keep knitting. Okay. Janet says the check is my school uniform. Yes, my primary school, we had our summer dresses were yellow gingham. Brigitte, can't see it. Well, we've taken it down now because I'm just trying to put something else up. Hang on, let's get rid of that. Right. Chrome tab, Ravelry, Eleanor. Share.
Oh, yes, I've seen that before.
Yeah. So if it's not complicated enough, you can crochet your own version with a head.
Wow.
But as you can see, they are great for little hands because they're segmented. You can
Yeah.
really, and actually, even for grown-up hands, they are really very tactile. So brilliant. Well done for that, Trisha. Thank you. Right.
Buttons for twiddle for Alzheimer's. That's a really good idea.
Yes.
I think I'm going to
Oh, there
win
we
my
go.
yarn chicken.
Oh. Right. Brigitte says, I love the pink elephant, but I am not going to make one. All right, calm down. Nobody's making you. It's okay. Take a breath.
It's not amigurumi. It's
We're
standard
not
crochet.
forcing you. Right. Excuse me a second. I need to find something to go poke out the corners with. Right.
Marion says the pattern is no longer available. Ooh.
Oh, it's a bit harsh.
And then says dinosaur Sally. Not quite sure what that means. And Brigitte says Robert keeps trying. I will stop, Brigitte, because I know you do not ever want to attempt amigurumi. Linda says she sent me a video, but not sure if she can show a video. No, Linda, I can't show videos. Apparently, there is a way I can, and I might need to find some time later to do it. But rather than do it on my laptop, I might do it on the computer, which means I have to wait for Gary to finish work so I can use the computer. Evelyn says, "Love to see so many things to make for my granddaughter." I know. I've. That's two things we've shown today now that I want to put in my to-do list: the elephant and the wedding ring cow. Marion says, "Brigitte, you need to explain the dinosaur." Janet says, "Me
Maybe the moment
neither."
passed.
Janet says, "Me neither." I think that means that she doesn't want to do amigurumi either. It's not for everybody. It is quite fiddly to do.
It's all right. We're not making you.
No.
Oh. Oh dear.
Post.
Ah, right. So the dinosaur. Brigitte says, years ago, I knitted 2 dinosaurs. The knitting was easy peasy. The putting together nearly caused me a nervous breakdown. Never again. Right, there we go. So it's left you with a bit of a twitch thinking about it, is it?
It's more than a bit. You only have to say the word dinosaur in front of her, and she has nervous shakes. Definitely.
See, this is odd. As somebody who sewed first and then came to yarn second, I find it all mildly amusing how people complain about putting, I don't know, jumpers or cardigans together. I'm like, you've spent weeks knitting this, and surely that only takes you an hour or two. But apparently it's the worst thing in the world. I remember how Charlotte used to constantly complain about sewing up cardigans and stuff. And I'm sitting there going, well, you know, you're only putting sleeves on. But there you go. It's different perspectives, though, isn't it? So,
Has anybody heard from Charlotte?
yeah, I've seen a few things on Facebook. We've had a bit of a natter. Her and Ben had to go into a fortnight's isolation as soon as they got there.
Right.
And they are just about, I think they've just about come to the end of that, I think. So they're all right. They've just had to, you know, get there and basically hole up in their little house for a while.
Right, okay.
Could Charlotte possibly join us next Tuesday? She's been off on Facebook occasionally. Well, I will put it to Charlotte and I will send her the link. But got to remember, time zones are a little different over
there. Yeah.
So if she's out, I will let her know.
So to put it in some sort of context, it's currently 20 to 11 at night in New Zealand. So if we have knitting at 8 o'clock, it would be 7 o'clock in the morning there.
Yikes. We'll see. And I don't know what sort of broadband they've got. You know, sticking a photo and a post on Facebook occasionally is one thing. Hanging about for a 2-hour video chat is a different matter entirely. So I will let her know where we are. And if she makes it, she makes it.
If you could reach out to her, that'd be good.
Certainly will.
And if she's up for, if she says yes, and if she's up for being a presenter, then that's fine. Just let me or Angela know, and we'll send her the link. We just need her email address to be able to do it.
Sure.
So Tricia says, Robert, I have a book, and I'm assuming that's Amagurumi Puzzle Ball book, which has the pink elephant and many others. Do you want it? Oh, yes, please. That would be lovely. Thank you, Tricia. I shouldn't, but that would be absolutely lovely. Thank you.
Wouldn't that be fun?
So I've won my yarn chicken.
Way!
I have enough to cast off with.
Brilliant.
So
there you go.
I'm going to cast off probably tonight, so it should be ready for tomorrow.
Doesn't it give you a warm sense of satisfaction?
What, winning? Yes. Helen is, sorry, Tricia says she started to make the dinosaur but gave up. And Helen says she's off to buy groceries and get her hubby's beer. Bye, Helen.
Great.
Enjoy shopping.
Bye, Helen. And get your beer as well.
Yes, must have something for you.
Yeah. Oh, right. Just about done. Poked the corners out and everything. Right. Right, back in a sec.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd get this far, so I left the stuff at the other side of the room. But there we go. Stuffing.
Sorry, I've got in thinking mode.
Fair enough. Right, Sally says, have you seen the post from the Black Lion? Take your own container and they will sell you beer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they will. Yeah, a clean 2-litre milk carton or something, and they will fill it up for you.
Wow, that's amazing.
They were doing deliveries at one point, but they had to knock that one on the head, I think.
Georgie says she had to disappear. Nick needed to discuss something about work and had to prize Christopher out of bed. Welcome back, Georgie.
Hello.
Sally says, noting Helen's message about hubby's beer. Yes, because they do lots of unusual beers at the Black Lion, don't they?
They do indeed.
Brigitte says, sorry, got to go, phone not charging the battery fast enough. Bye, Brigitte.
Bye.
Have I got time to show these that are coming through? Oh. Can I show this? No. Oh.
So,
Yes, I can. Ah, fantastic. Right, folks, you're going to have to bear with me.
uh-huh.
Because it's going to take some going. But Linda has just sent off the back of the puzzle balls this amazing video of something that she's done. So let's see if we can get it on the screen.
Oh,
Look at that.
I've got the kit for one of those.
Oh, have you?
Foam brick. Yes, I do. Not entirely sure where it is, but yes, I know I picked one up.
I love that. Oh, Linda, that's amazing. Well done. That to me would make a great stress reliever when I'm feeling what's the word?
Stressed.
No, not stressed. What's the word when you want to do something but don't know what to do?
Oh, yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. That looks gorgeous. Well done. I hope the recipient of that really, really liked it. And then she's just sent through this picture.
Ah.
I think that's the Tunisian. No, that's not crochet. That's knitting. That's a knit along that she's doing.
It is the Tunisian.
Second block of Knitting and Crochet Guild Tunisian crochet along. Oh, is that a crochet hook? I thought that was a knitting needle.
Well, Tunisian is kind of half and half.
Oh, is it? I've never done it.
Yeah. With Tunisian, you sort of have something that's knitting needle length with a crochet hook on the end.
Right, okay.
I'm not sure how it's done because I haven't looked at it yet, but it was something for a potential workshop.
Right, let's go through the chat. Brigitte says she's changed sockets. She's okay now. Okay, good. Welcome back. Tricia says that is amazing. Sally says that is amazing. Can we have a link, please? Georgie says it's gorgeous. Safia says that's awesome. Judy says, wow, Linda. Marion says awesome. Sally says fidgety. That's it, fidgety.
There you go.
Linda says like a Rubik's Cube for my kids, but my son and daughter-in-law love it too. Deborah says, yes, I had a kit but couldn't work it out. Yours is great. Lots more comments on the word that I was trying to find. Linda says, no, it's Tunisian crochet, so that's the second thing that we're looking at. Yes, we know it's Tunisian crochet. Georgie says quandary. Not sure what that's about.
Where you were thinking and not knowing what to do, were you in a quandary? But anyway.
Yes. So I will explain that tomorrow, I think. And then Brigitte has had to go because it doesn't seem to be working. Bye, Brigitte. Tricia says another possible class for Sheringham. What
Tunisian
would be the class? Tunisian crochet. Okay.
Yeah.
Safia says I did a history of Tunisian crochet for one of our guild meetings. It's nothing to do with Tunisia. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, well, do tell us where it comes from then, and why is it called Tunisian crochet? Actually, Safia, if you did that for a guild meeting, I think what we'd love to have is you come on as a presenter and talk us through the history of Tunisian crochet. If you're not comfortable doing that, then send the info to one of us and we'll do it for you. But it would be nice to have you on the screen and have you talk through it. Tricia says, Safia, that would be great if you could do that. Jackie says, got to go. Even though you're a welcome distraction, I need to concentrate on my work. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye, Jackie.
Okay. Yes.
I must admit, it would be nice when this is done to be able to have my knitting bag back.
Yeah. So what would be next?
The sheer size.
No, I think that would be gorgeous. A proper wraparound. So what have you got lined up next?
What, in terms of project?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Safia says another lady did the demo and I did the talking. I think, Safia, if it's okay with you, I think we'd just be interested in the talk part of it. I'm not quite sure we'd be able to do a demo at the same time and recreate it, but maybe send me a private message and we'll pick it up and maybe plan it in for at some point next week to give people something to look forward to. And it's something we can advertise as well and see if we can get a lot more people in the room at the same time to have it. And if anybody out there has anything else bubbling away in the background, I know Janet said that she had something that she was prepared to talk about, then let's maybe try and get some structure to I don't think lockdown's going structure to these. Maybe every other day have a speaker come on and talk about something crafty wise.
You wouldn't
so
think we were making it as we go along.
No. I think yesterday morning is the absolute proof that we are making it up as we go along. Safia says, okay, she'll give it a go. Marion says,
Brilliant.
Lindy could dig out a history of crochet. I tell you what would be really good, and I know she's only got pictures, but the talk that we had at Sheringham from Lindy with the guild artifacts, and then the one that she did at the library, which was very similar. I'm sure we've got enough pictures of those to be able to recreate that talk if Lindy would do the talk. So that would be good. Marion, can I ask, would you be able to reach out to Lindy and see if she could do that for us, please?
That'd be great, because I missed the one at the library.
Either the thing she did at the library or the history of crochet, or both. She'll send an email. Perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yes, so in terms of my next project, I don't know. I kind of keep thinking I should probably use lockdown and furlough to finish my jumper.
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't know. It's got a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth now.
Oh.
But I do want to finish it. So I followed the pattern in the book.
Yeah.
But it wasn't right. And then I went back to the guy on the stand at Ali Pally who sold me the kit, who then just fobbed me off to somebody else. And yeah, and then when they came back, it still didn't really make sense. Janet says, why not? We could hold your hand. Do you know what? I think this is probably why I do want to do it. But if Brigitta's still on, Brigitta is my normal go-to person for when I'm stuck on a pattern. And even she read it and she couldn't understand it. So maybe it is something that I should take back out and have a look at.
Well, apart from anything, you could put your own individuality on it. And you can go, well, actually, I fixed this. Yeah. And I sometimes wonder, throwing a project in the corner, which is what we describe it here, is throw it in a corner, do something else for a while. But the thing is if you've thrown it in a corner for too long, it can just end up haunting you a bit.
Like Lily Pond.
Like Lily Pond, yeah. Definitely. The box is down there. It's definitely haunting me now.
So it looks like it's jumper that's coming back out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is if you haven't, now you have the opportunity where you're going to have a bit of concentrated time rather than picking it up and putting it down again, which is why I'm digging out some of the old stuff as well. Because I while I find time to craft, it's not usually for several hours at a time.
No.
You can actually get some thinking time in, where actually I generally don't get that opportunity very often. So that's what actually has been useful. So I'm finishing off little bits here and there. And I'm actually digging out some of the bigger stuff as well that I might have been saving for summer.
Edwin says, if I finish my jumper, she'll finish her blue top. Sally says, share the puzzle, maybe combined answers. Safia says, yes, come on, you can do it. Janet says, are there any fixes on Ravelry? I haven't actually looked on Ravelry, so that'd be interesting. And then Trisha has sent a link for Lindy Zubery's Tunisian crochet along. I think that's the one that Linda is doing. So by all means, people have a look at that. In fact, I'm going to open that up and I will bookmark it and we'll show it tomorrow because we're nearly out of time. Safia says, what is the pattern? It's a Rowan pattern. I'll have to dig the book out from the corner and have a look at it. Tricia says, Lindy's making a wrap. I think 11 different stitches are being used. Oh, wow.
Crikey.
I didn't even know there were 11 different stitches. Tricia, is that knitting or crochet?
Is that the Tunisian one?
I thought there was only about 5 different stitches for crochet. Oh, that's the Tunisian. Okay. Okay, all right. Lovely. So I'm having the normal Facebook Messenger problems on there. So right. So I've got the link for that. Trisha, I will bookmark it and share it tomorrow.
Yeah. And maybe the hive mind can help with the jumper conundrum.
Possibly. Right, let me.
Or if nothing else, can just cheerlead.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, because I'm only on the. I've done the back up to the shaping, and I've started the front.
Okay.
So the worst that can happen is I carry on up the front, and we're all stuck, and I start the sleeves.
Fine. Well, it's a bit of yarn. What's the worst that can happen, eh? Exactly.
Right, so we are almost at a finish, ladies. So thank you very much for joining us today. It has been good. I think we've discovered that the ball of yarn that never ends is actually coming to an end. I'll finish that today so you can see it tomorrow. Have a lovely afternoon. Please do send pictures throughout the day of what you're working on, so that we've got them lined up ready for tomorrow. Marion, if you can send the message to Lindy, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And then Trisha, we will start with that crochet along, and I will see if I can upload some videos of your steeking. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Claire, for co-hosting again. Have a lovely afternoon.
Yeah, you too.
See you in the morning, folks.
Will do.
Bye.
Bye-bye.